Like all great innovations, we recognized an obvious and glaring problem in regards to sales training in both our stores and in the stores of our peers in the home furnishings industry. We recognized that sales training overall was inconsistent and certainly inadequate. Most often, sales training for the home furnishings retailer was done in one of three ways. Number one, incoming RSAs, retail sales associates, would be trained on the fly. Now, this is just another way of saying that there really isn't a sales system, and we're just hopeful that they'll pick up some sort of tactics from someone in the store that could help them to be successful. In the event that a retailer did make an investment in having a trainer, the second way in which we saw people being trained in our operations and in others was that training was treated like a one and done classroom event. It wasn't ongoing and it lacked consistency. As a result, you would see RSAs come out of that classroom training, embrace the habits and training that they were taught for a short time, but shortly thereafter they would adopt the habits of typical, low energy, negative, and poorly producing RSAs. More recently, and the third way we're seeing training be deployed in some stores is through online sales training that is not specific to the unique demands for the home furnishings retailer. There's a lot of content out there about sales, but most of it really lacks the specificity necessary for our industry, and it's even contradictory to the values of most of the retail partners that we have established over the years. Introducing the SLAM Institute at slamfurniture.com. The industry's first video testing and training environment designed specifically for the home furnishings retailer. And unlike other training and selling systems that merely teach the strategy or tactics of selling, we not only provide an elite level selling system, but we also provide a cultural shift within your sales team. That's right. See, at the SLAM Institute, we invite typical RSAs, typical retail sales associates who may have low energy, who may be negative, who may blame others for their success, who may continue to sit around in the bullpen or the sales office and commiserate about traffic and act like their success is out of their control. We invite those people with those typical RSA habits to make the transition from the mindset of that of an RSA to that of $1 million business owner. We like to say at the SLAM Institute, we coach $1 million writers. That's our expectation. If an RSA who works 39 hours a week can generate $1 million or more in revenue, but a different RSA can only generate $500,000 over the same 12 months of the year, what's the difference? We believe this essential shift in mindset from RSA to business owner is essential. We like to say we no longer employ RSAs, we deploy business owners. This is the cultural shift at the center of the SLAM Institute. SLAM is by far the most effective furniture retail sales training tool or resource that you could ever buy. And there's 4 specific reasons for that. Number 1, SLAM's content is concise. We like to say we are content rich. We're not content overload. As I'm speaking and recording this content right now, there are people that are offering hundreds and thousands of hours of content, but very few of those hours are actually relevant to our industry or even match the values that I know my partners in this industry actually embrace. Because our content is concise, the second reason why Slam is unbeatable is because our content is highly actionable. Because it's concise, it is actionable, it's practical. What good is it for someone to have access to a library with 2,000 closes if they won't even have the courage to deploy what they're taught? We teach very specific techniques that are highly actionable and repeatable under various sets of circumstances. If you employ the content that we teach, you will win. So our content is concise, highly actionable, right? And we're not concise at the expense of being, number 3, comprehensive. We are handing anyone who partners with us a comprehensive training program that not only teaches sales techniques, not only influences culture, but even provides the management and coaching documents necessary to teach and train this team on an ongoing basis. So much so that there's even a calendar where you can click on the day of the year and it will give you your specific content for a morning meeting to reinforce the system surrounding Slam. So we're concise, actionable, comprehensive, and the final way we're superior to anyone else in this space is that we're proven. This is not some sort of content that's been dreamt up by someone who doesn't understand home furnishing sales specifically. Those of us behind the Slam Institute are practicing home furnishings retailers ourselves who consistently get results consistent with the top 10% in the entire industry. You heard that right. We get consistent results among the top 10%, and we do that by deploying the very tactics that we're sharing with you for the first time ever in the Slam Institute. So, if a cultural shift that would invite typical RSAs to take radical responsibility for their incomes, radical responsibility for their level of activity, radical responsibility for their attitude, if making that shift from RSA to business owner sounds enticing to you as the practicing retailer, if making that shift from mediocre retailer to somebody who's in the top 10%, if making that shift from good retailer to great retailer, if making that shift from having someone stuck in a classroom training and event-based type training to ongoing consistent training, where you can have a consistent sales training for all your stores, no matter who's there, no matter who's the trainer, there is no question as to what techniques and tactics should be being deployed. If having those things is appealing to you, contact us today to begin your free Slam demo.